Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and let's start building your wealth.
Couple things tonight. What I'm going to go over is a little bit of what came out of the EXP conference last week. It was the longest one yet. They've typically been 2 or 3 days. This one was a solid 4 days from morning till late at night. So I was whooped by the time I came home. So I'm going to share with you some of what I got there. Some of it you have already seen. If you haven't been to the workplace GIA workplace page, please do so. There's two posts out there you want to look at. One of them gives you a link for the slide deck that the institutional guys, institutional investor group in the site EXP, hosted a 3-hour session. It was the longest session there. I was in there the whole entire time taking notes, and we got the slide deck at the end. So I put that in the workplace, GIA workplace page for you. That was today. And then I think 3 days ago, no, it was probably Thursday. It looked like it was me posting it, but Sugar actually put a post out for a link for you to apply to get leads, free leads, free referral leads from the ISS group. That's EXP's institutional investor arm, if you want to call it that. And a lot of them are going to be stuff that you do, single family homes, small properties, but every now and then you get a whale. And it doesn't cost you a dime to be in that platform. So as long as you do the link, you've got to do it by tonight because it expires tomorrow. So I know I think Beverly sent that out also from KV Core, from our KV Core phone number. It says it's for me. It technically is me. So if you got that text on Thursday, that's legitimate. I know Benetta was concerned about that, but it's the real deal. So if you haven't done it, guys, you want to make sure you do that. Okay. Their whole thing is working with investors and feeding us leads and helping us do our jobs. So you definitely want to do that. There's two posts in there. And I believe you also got either an email or a text from KV Core on that also. So did anybody see that? Is anybody signed up for the ISS getting those leads? Kathy did, Eric did, Michael did. Okay. All right. Wayne, yeah. Definitely do
Gary,
it, guys. I mean, yeah.
do you know when it expires tonight?
I'm not saying they just said tomorrow they're going to pull it down. And the
Okay,
reason
because I haven't
is,
signed up yet.
yeah, I would definitely do it tonight. When I did it, guys, it was like 30 seconds. It wasn't like they don't want a resume. They just ask a few questions in addition to your name and email and phone number. So I would definitely do it. This is just between us here. They're assuming you were in the session, and they're assuming you're now certified with the ISS because you sat in a session. I just gave you the link from the session, but I don't think they're having any. If you signed up for it, Eric did, a couple other people did. Dwayne, you're okay. You don't have to take 3 hours of class. You don't have to do all that. You're going to be automatically included in the reindeer games. So I absolutely would do it. So, and I'm going to tell you why too. It's not just because right now volume is at historical lows. The last figure I think I gave you the last time we met was 1.89 transactions per agent per year, according to NAR. Now we're doing better than that. We're doing twice as good as that as an average, but an average is just an average. And does anybody here want to be average? Any average people who wants to be average? Exactly. So we want to be above average. And this is, a factual statement. As you might imagine, it's the Pareto's 80-20 rule. So 20% of the agents are doing 80% of the business. Now it's not that the other 80% are not trying. I know some of you have parents you're caring for, children you're caring for, you have other jobs, and you're just new, you're brand new, and you haven't found your pace and your style yet. You're still pushing. A great example is Brittany Taylor. So see, I went through Britney Spears, Brittany Lanier, and Brittany Taylor. Brittany Taylor is who I'm talking about. She's on the team. Started off like she was shot out of a cannon. I mean, she's already brought in 1 or 2 people. She had her first double-sided transaction, and she's got a listing she's working on now too. So she just like a good private in the military. They don't know what they don't know, so they don't They don't question everything. They just do it. They just follow instructions and do it. And right now, because of the way the market is in the economy, I'm going to really encourage you to every morning wake up, hit the ground running, because the way to succeed um, is to continually take action. I can't tell you which pitch you're going to hit. Nobody can. That's why we swing the bat. And if you want to stay in the game and not just survive but thrive, it's going to take extra effort, guys. It's just the way it's going to be. Um, I think next year, possibly 2025, we're going to see the correction. Um, through between now and then, you'll see things begin to equalize. Agents will leave, and you'll see fewer buyers on the scene, and the sellers, the days on market starting to extend. And we're already starting to see that in some parts of the market. And what else are we seeing here? Who else has noticed something in just in the last couple of months since this summer? What part of the business has actually gotten more active? What type of client has become more active? Just
Investors.
unmute yourself and call it out. Yep.
Investors.
What's that? Karen?
Investors
Correct. Yeah.
are looking.
Thank you. It's exactly right. It's happening all across the board. It's, not everybody's getting calls, but the ones that are, it's not in one area, it's all across the board. So again, my famous quote for myself is, it's not time to panic, it's time to prepare. And when your back's up against the wall, you take action. That's what you do. So in any case, let's go ahead and jump into some stuff here. I want to go and make sure. Let me
Sorry,
share
Gary,
this.
to interrupt. What is this email that you told us to look for again?
I'm going to go to the workplace page now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I know. I believe. Well, I know Sugar posted on the workplace page. I believe Beverly sent either a text or an email to you. It would have come across individually because it's KV Core mail merges. And I think that was on Thursday the 5th when that went out. So you may have received a text with one of the links. Okay, Monday Night Live, that's the most recent one. Mastermind. Oh, make sure, guys, make sure you're on the team meeting Wednesday night. That's in 2 days. It's always the second Wednesday of the month. And the reason is that's when I'm going to go over the notes from EXPCon. Tonight we've got a full slate already planned for the night. So Wednesday night is when we go over the notes from EXPCon. There's things in there for you that you're definitely going to want to listen to and be part of. Okay. So that's Wednesday night. All right. Here's the post, guys, 4 hours ago. This link is the slide deck from the ISS presentation. That's Institutional Investors. It gives you lots of names, phone numbers, emails, contact information for the people that were part of the presentation. It also gives you a lot of other information, as well as the link. So that link to register for ISS leads is in there too, but I'm going to give that to you separately here in a minute. And also remember, for the new agents, Monday Night Live, which is tonight, absolutely invite anybody you want. The second Wednesday of the month, a monthly team meeting, that's just us internally, not other people. It's just us internally, not for guests, because I'm giving you things in that meeting that are sometimes proprietary. They give us a distinct competitive advantage, and you've got to be on the team for some of that stuff. Okay. So in any case, that's what this paragraph is all about. But when you're in the GIA workplace page, make sure you click on this link. It'll give you the download for the entire 3-hour slide deck. Lots of good stuff in there. Now, if you scroll down, okay, to here it is right here, to October 5th. This is the one Sugar put out there. This is the actual registration link. Here, I'll just click on it. Okay. If you scroll down, you can get the slides here too. There's a sign up for the services bullpen. That's something else. But if you click on this IIS, not ISS, ISS workplace group. Sorry, wait a second. That's the actual. Oh, definitely join that. Join the workplace group. You can download the slide deck here again. And on the third one here, that's the one you want to click on, the one with the $sign. Okay. And once it loads, I'll show you the application. I've already filled it out. Okay. Any leads I get are going directly to you guys. And if you remember, in business, internal leads that come from me directly, not from the training and the lead generation system, I don't charge you a referral fee on those. Those internally between us are just between you and I. I don't charge a referral fee that because you're already on the team. There's already a split for that. So in any case, you need your email, first name, last name, email address again for some reason. They really want your emails, guys. Apparently, 3 different emails. They want your phone number, something that's textable, the state you're in, the markets you serve. Okay. The name of your team, just call it the Global Investor Asia Team or GIA Team. Mark Woodling, I think is his name. He knows who we are. Okay. So in any case, do you have an active license? Obviously you do because you're on the call here. And if you're an icon, you put that in there, you say yes. Do you have 3 years experience with 50 plus transactions? Just be candid. If you don't, it's okay. How long have you been a real estate agent? All right. What percentage of business is investors? Tell me more about your experience. All I did is I said, please see globalinvestoragent.com. How many assignments have you received? If you've done BPOs in the past, you want to put that in there. And don't worry if the answer is 0, just you want to answer the question. And do you have the ability to handle 10 plus listings at once? Everybody here is going to click on the yes box, okay? Because you can. Do you work with any funds or institutions? This is if you work with BlackRock or White Oak or any of those, and I have in the past. And they know that also. I've already told them that. So in any case, if you're interested in serving on the council, you can do that too. That's probably a good way to get more leads, because if they're looking for special assignments and you're serving the community, you can probably get more leads that way. And that, guys, that's all that application is. So let me stop sharing. Okay, I feel like I just talked like an auctioneer for about 10 minutes, but any questions on either the application to get leads? Yeah, Carrie, go ahead.
So that's just in Workplace?
Well, that page that I just showed you
Yeah.
is an actual form. It's a Google form. So it goes to that person who created it automatically. But yes, the links for that are in the Workplace, GIA Team Workplace page. Yeah.
I put that link in the chat, Gary.
Oh, thanks, Rob.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed, Rob, that you put something in there, but
It's a huge
okay,
one, but
thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, because I've been searching for it here. Okay, thanks.
That was right off of the your Workplace post, Gary.
Okay. All right, good. Thanks, Rob, for doing that. Hey guys, any questions on that? What it's all about and how it came about? And I mean, there was a property management group in there that wants to work with you guys, even though we already have 2 property management businesses on the team. They're location specific. So this property management group, if anybody's interested in building that part of your business, we now have a way to do it where you're not operating on your own outside of EXP, apparently. I mean, it's a separate group, but I think there's an affiliation there or a defined business arrangement between EXP and I think it's called River. Hang on a second. homeriver.com if you want to check them out. I don't know what the deal is. I didn't get all the details, but it's something to keep in mind on your back burner. By the way, I will tell you, property management is an excellent way to get leads directly from the owners because you're managing properties for owners. Okay. So keep that in mind when times get slow, and you're looking to bring in some cash flow and also beef up your production business. Property management is one I'm telling you from living experience, So, okay, let me check the chat box here for questions. Those are the links. Thanks, Rob, again for doing that.
Hey, Gary, I have a comment.
Yep. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, on this application, you just ran through the questions, so now I know how to answer the ones I didn't know how to answer. But they asked for your email, and then they asked for your email, It's because they asked the second one is your email, your EXP email address, and you have to have one or you
Ah.
can't be part of this. They're
Correct.
verifying that you're an EXP agent.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. And I apologize for anyone who's a guest tonight. We pride ourselves in being education focused. So these classes are all education based. But every now and then something comes up that's we can't control, and that's one of them. So this
Mhm.
entity is inside of EXP, and they do require to be an EXP agent. And there are some really neat connections there, guys. I'm just talking to these folks at the conference. Some of the, I mean, I thought I was well connected with the banks and the asset managers, and relatively speaking, I probably am. But these guys, I mean, one of them, even through all the years where there weren't any REOs at all, there were no foreclosures, he was still getting them. That's how good he was. By the way, his name's John Scalia. I don't think he's related to the old the deceased Supreme Court judge, but his name's John Scalia. He capped in 13 days this last time around. He capped in 13 days, okay, because he does so much business. And that's what it was like for me when I was doing the REO business years ago. I think I told you, I mean, Beverly came in at quarter around that same time. I think we had done over 5,000 transactions in a 3-year period. And they were, at least 3,000 of them were REOs. It was like a factory line. I can't even tell you how busy it was, but while people were starving, we were thriving, so this is definitely something to take seriously. And by the way, REOs aren't just a little 3-bedroom ranchers that are dirty and filthy and need to be painted. I've had REOs that were over $1 million, several of them on golf courses. Okay. So keep that in mind. And when you get in with the affluent crowd, you're consider yourself set for life, because those are the people, the reason they have money is because they're good with money. And one of the things you know about money is when the market's down, what do they do with their money? What do they buy? Well, pretty much anything that's down. but in our case, it's real estate. Okay, they pick up real estate. And by the way, they don't pick up the crap. They pick up nice properties. Okay, because they know, like I learned, you're going to have an easier time in life if you have better properties with better tenants and better cash flows and more appreciation versus the low down, no down stuff, which I did in the early years, that I learned about the how money actually works, and it changed everything. So, okay, looks like we're clear on questions. So guys, I want to introduce you to somebody near and dear to my heart. You're probably wondering who that lovely lady is in the red there. That's Liz Hester. And Liz and I go back a lot of years. She was an integral part of my growth and development during the critical years. We were in a mastermind group together where other people were learning and developing their businesses. Okay. And Liz has a lot of experience in the world of business and helping people market their businesses. And guess what? Because I probably have never made her mad, she's agreed to teach a class for us. Liz, if you want to unmute yourself, feel free to unmute yourself and say hi.
It's pretty hard to make me mad, Gary, and you're a great person. So I don't know how you do it.
Oh, thanks. So it's usually the mistakes I made are usually errors of omission. I'm just not aware of what I'm doing,
Oh, we don't know what we don't know too. Yeah. So
yeah. So in any case, so Liz is going to talk to us about email marketing, which is something we rarely talk about when we talk about marketing all the time. And we do have campaigns through KV Core, but we never really spent much time digging into the who, what, where, when, how, and why behind it, and why it works and how it works. So, and Liz, is that the 23rd? Is that right? Is it that? That's the class?
yes, I don't have that pulled up. I'm doing, yes, it's that week. Let me pull up my calendar.
Okay.
Yes, it's the 23rd. Well, you're going to really
Okay.
love this then, because what I'm going to go over is really the nuts and bolts of the 3 keys that you need to know to be making actual profits from your emails, not just to be sending them out there. And it's really about what you do, Gary. It's about nurturing your tribe and taking care of them. And it's actually a lot simpler than you would think. So I'm going to actually share because it's you, I'm going to share my checklist that I use with my team for all my clients. And so I'll show you what it takes to build a good, profitable email campaign and list.
Yep. Well, I appreciate that, Liz. And Liz, you're welcome to hang out anytime you want. if you want to chime in and ask questions tonight, feel free to, or and for everybody here, if you do have questions for Liz, obviously speak up, but in 2 weeks, we'll be seeing her live and he'll take the mic and the floor too. So, yep.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. And she's going to be on a podcast too, guys. She'll be on the podcast.
Yeah. So if I miss
Okay.
any questions on Monday, bring them to the podcast. Can they ask questions on the podcast?
No, the podcast is just you and I, but the class will definitely be, well, like tonight. It'll be just like tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. And if there's any mop-up questions, you can send them in. I'll answer them on the podcast too.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I like
I'm
that.
full service.
Okay. All right. And in Texas too. So that's pretty good. So, yeah. Okay. So guys, the big challenge right now is we've already known this for several months, probably going back at least a year. But at the conference, it was a common theme, is the fact that volume is really down. And, it makes it hard. It's psychologically, emotionally, in many ways, financially, it makes it hard. And we all recognize that. For those of us who've been doing this for a lot of years, we've all been through it. I mean, if you're anybody that's been in the business, going back to the last recession, knows exactly what it's like. I mean, there was a lot of volume for a few years during the REO season, but when that started drying up, we hit equilibrium, but it wasn't really, it was a long drawn out process. The recovery, thankfully, has been a long recovery. It's long, another correction's long overdue. But the point is, it wasn't like it snapped back overnight. It was very tricky. People were uncertain. Were we out of the water? Were we still out? I'm sorry, were we out of the woods? Were we still in trouble? There was a lot of debate for years. But this isn't the only time in history where volume has been like this. It's cyclical, so it does happen. I will tell you, statistically, this is the statistic. The average is about as low as I've seen it in all the years I've been doing this. And I started. It'll be 30. What is this? 2024 coming up. That'll be 34 years this coming January. It's hard to even believe, but and in 22 years as a licensee. So that's a couple of corrections, 5 altogether, lots of different market scenarios. But the thing you want to do is think about the two. Let me just show you this. I showed you this the other week. Let me go back to. Let's get out of here. Don't use that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Where am I going? Oh, the website. Let me go to the website. So I'm going to kind of quiz you on this, guys, because we did go over it. It may have been the Monday before last Monday. Hey, well, while that's loading, let me show you 2 more things here. This is Home River, okay, Home River Group, Boise Property Management. So they're, of course, based out of Idaho, but from what I remember, they have a national presence. So I'm going to get more information from them. I did leave a message with them earlier, telling them about our team and looking to schedule a call with them. Beyond that, I don't know if I don't have any other notes, but that's one you want to check out. Okay, is the Home River Group. Another one is this here. So I applied for this earlier. Okay, this is all part of the IIS. So roofstock.com is another site where investors can come in and buy or sell properties, and they're investor friendly. I'm sorry, they're agent, not only investor friendly, they're agent friendly. So I've already done the application, but you do this application, it takes all of 10 seconds. And it takes you to this next screen asking you, do you have properties that you have listed that you want to promote here? And or do you have buyers interested in buying? And you send invites to your buyers to come onto this site, and you earn commissions from selling yours and other people's listings. Okay, so let me go back to the main website here. So this is one you want to take note of now. This is one you want to go ahead and just write down or grab the URL, roofstock.com. Okay, and then I went to, let's see, what did I do here? It's the institutions, sell your property buys. Oh, shop with an agent. Okay, that's if you're a buyer. tools and calculators. How did I get to the actual time to sell, manage like a boss, large scale investing? I'll take your word for it. Why single family homes? Oh, here it is. I'm sorry, down here. Okay. Down in the business section at the bottom of their page, you want to click on agents and brokers. Everybody see that? Agents and brokers on the bottom left. Okay. So you click on that. I don't think it's going to give me the same application again. Yeah, I'm already applied. So I got right to this and said, take me to my dashboard. I don't have anything in my dashboard yet, but earlier today it was another screen to fill out and it was shorter than the other one I just showed you. So roofstock.com, go to the main page, scroll all the way to the bottom and click on agents and brokers and you can fill out a form there. Okay. So it's just another channel, another avenue to get listings and get to bring your buyers to the table. All right, now let me log in here. So I can show you what I was going to show you to begin with. Any questions, guys, on that roofstock.com? Okay.
Gary, I have a question, Vanetta.
Yeah, hey, Benetta.
Hi, you were saying that we could sell other people's listings in there. So what do you mean by that?
Well, I think so as an agent, if you have listings, you can promote your listings on their site.
No, I got
And what I'm gathering is then you can not only sell your own listings there, but if you bring in buyers and they find another listing they like, even if it's another listing agent, you'll obviously get a commission out of that, you know?
okay.
So it's another venue. It's another venue to bring together buyers and sellers. And apparently they've been around a long time. And in fact, Mark Woodling, excuse me, he's the guy that runs IIS for EXP. He started off in his business career, he started off working for Roofstock. That's where he started. So they've been around quite a while. I'd never heard of them before. But it was intriguing enough for me to bring it up to you, show you. Okay, let's see here. All right, in the marketing tab on our website. So for all the new agents, I went to realestatewithgarywilson.com. I clicked on the members area, then I logged in and got to my dashboard. And when you first get to your dashboard, it's automatically set to the video tab. What you want to do is, for tonight's exercise, is click on the marketing tab, okay? And right here where it says client and marketing graphics, okay? Click on that and I would download it because it gives you a graphic view of your sphere, your contacts, you know, your prospects. And there's 3 levels of them. Level 1 is the innermost circle, people you know the most and know you the best. The next layer is people you know each other, but it's not like your best friends. And level 3 is people that you're connected on Facebook, for example, but you probably really don't know them. There's 3 levels of contacts. And the next thing is the marketing categories. And there's 4 levels of marketing. Level 1, and remember, marketing is a comprehensive term that reflects multiple aspects of the world of marketing. Advertising falls into marketing, communication falls into marketing, and so forth. What this has to do is your medium of communication. So level 1 is the most direct kind of communication. It's in-person conversation or one-on-one over the phone. Level 2 is still direct, but it's not person to person. It's through a text, email, private message on social media, so forth. Okay. Level 3 is it is direct, but it's offline. It's, you know, booklets, flyers, things like that. And level 4 is pretty much anything that's meant for the general public and not anybody specific. It's definitely not direct, like you're doing a broadcast Facebook campaign, for example. So having seen this is the second time you've seen it. When you look at the levels of marketing and your levels of client contacts, which combination do you think between those 2 spheres, those 2 circles, would give you the greatest amount of the best results? So go ahead and raise your hand or unmute yourself or type in the chat box. I know Liz knows the answer because this is her business. So she's saying, actually, I'm going to have Liz talk about this. In fact, this is so ironic that Liz, I didn't know she was going to come on tonight till early today, guys. That was Beverly gave her the link. That was a nice surprise. But being that her business is exactly what we need to learn more about. I'd be interested to get her commentary on this, but who knows the answer between your sphere and your marketing, communication styles and marketing, which combination would give you the greatest highest probability of results?
What was the options again?
Well, your client base is 3 levels. The inner circles of people you know the best,
Right.
and the outer circles of people you know the least. And then in marketing, level 1 is direct communication, where level 4 is complete, total broadcast, non-direct communication. So between communication and marketing and your prospects, which combination would give you the greatest probability of success?
One and one.
1 and 1, baby. Yep. So when times get tough, what do we generally do? And the old saying in the cowboy days, we circle the wagons, right? We close in a circle. So think of that here. When times get tough and volume is down, we collapse the circle. We circle the wagons, protect ourselves, and we protect everybody on the inside. So Liz, any insight on that, Liz? Any words of wisdom or suggestions?
No, it's funny
Even
because
like,
when you said what is marketing, what I believe marketing is bringing tribes together, bring your community together. And so that is definitely circling the wagons. So of course I was right up there with y'all too, 1 and 1. Obviously, it's first thing you do is you pick up that cell phone and say, who do I know? Right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so that's what I always do with marketing. And I think with a lot of successful people, including yourself, do is you have to have 7 touches to get to a sale. So you want to bring those people into your inner circle. You want to draw your tribe in, and you won't appeal to everybody. That's fine. We just allow them to go on their way. But those that are part of your tribe that you talk to, then you can bring in and start having more and more of a conversation with them. So that your inner circle, maybe not your 1 because that's your intimates, but your 2 gets really, you can bring in a lot to your level 2, and you can get a lot of work done there as well.
Yep.
And I find that a lot of your level 1s lead to your level 2s, both in marketing and in their circle.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree 100%. And now let me ask you this. And anybody that wants to answer too, not just Liz, but particularly the veterans. What do you say to the newer agents when they just have that natural hesitancy to reach out and call somebody? Like, some people call it cold calling. I don't consider it cold calling if you know the person. If you don't know the person, yeah, it's cold calling. If you do know the person, it's not cold calling. But any tips or suggestions to help people overcome that natural tendency to like freeze and postpone and procrastinate,
I have an answer, Gary. I always call my friends first. I call my friends first. They warm me up. Because if you do a cold call first, that can ruin your whole day or ruin you for a minute. But if you call your friends first, a few friends, get warmed up, get kind of loosen up, flex, then it's easier to call somebody that you don't know because you just talked to someone, you had a warm call. So that's what.
Now, here's the cool thing about this. So Bonetta, in what circle would you consider your friends? The outer circle 3, medium circle 2, or the inner circle 1?
Inner circle 1.
Amen. Yep. You start with the people you love the most and the people that love you the most. And who in this world wants to see you succeed more than anybody? Circle 1, circle 2, or circle 3?
Circle 1.
Circle 1. Yep. It's low hanging fruit. Even if it's your Uncle Bob, your Aunt Sally, your brother, your sister, you know what? It's okay to be humble sometimes. Just call them and say, you know what? I need to drum up some business. I'm not expecting you to buy or sell anything. You're my brother, for crying out loud. But chances are you're going to hear somebody at work mention that they're transferring or they're moving or whatever the case is. If all I want you to do is make a connection, that's all. This is what I say to them. I just want you to make a connection. That's all I want you to do. Who's going to take care of them better than me? A stranger or me, right? And over the years, we become more confident, but just start with in marketing, by the way, some people call that permission-based, or well, sorry, permission-based marketing is something else. But you're asking them for their help, right? And people who love you generally want to help you. Not everybody, but enough of them do. It's going to make it worth your while, you know? Guys, is this making sense? Yeah. I know I was speaking to one of the agents last week, and I can't remember exactly who it was, but you know, what it comes down to is practicing so you build the competence, and competence leads to confidence. And there was some neat scripting that came up out of the conference too. Is Brittany Taylor on tonight? Let me stop my share screen for a second. See if I see. Hey, Brittany Taylor, if you're on, if you could unmute yourself, I just want to do a quick checkup from the neck up. I could swear I saw Brittany's name.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Let's see.
She's here. She just wasn't joining as panelist, but she is now.
Oh. So Brittany is here?
Yeah, she's here. She's coming on.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Andre.
I'm here.
Hey, Brittany, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You know what's ironic? You and I were also, we weren't speaking. We were swapping text messages and things. But I sent a couple pictures to you. There were screenshots from an overhead
Yes.
screen. You know what's ironic, guys? This is crazy how God works sometimes. So Brittany's texting me, you know, looking for what can she do today? And ironically, the guy that was speaking to us was putting up things on the big screen that he used in his own production to get conversation started and to get business turned up. And Brittany, I don't have them to show because they're on my phone. Would you happen to have those on your device where you could, if I promoted you to co-host, you could share the screen?
Well, they're
share
actually
those-
they're actually on my phone.
Okay.
But
And
I
you're on your-
can find them
Okay.
and read them.
Yeah.
Yes,
If
I
you could
do
do
have-
that, because would you agree there was some pretty good stuff in there?
Of course.
Yep. Yeah, the guy that was telling us.
So the
so
first
let me,
one, it says, send these texts to the ghost to finally get back to you. Buyer leads, if I knew an off-market property that matched your criteria, would you want to know about it? Seller leads, if I knew of a buyer willing to pay top dollar for your home, would you want to know about it? And then the second one is, the power of isolating to one introduction per person will change your business forever. And it says, I have a big goal to help XYZ families. And when we do, we will do XYZ in the community. Or in order to achieve that goal and do XYZ in the community, we're looking to work by referral with more amazing people like you. Could you commit to introducing me to one person in the next year who might need to buy or sell? You'd probably pass my info along. No one wants to talk to a salesperson. Instead, can you send a 3-way text message? It's like introducing 2 people at a party. It will give me an at bat for 2 to 3 minutes to show I'm not like one of those agents.
Okay. So let's break it down. Let's first talk about the first two. One was for the seller, one was for the buyer. And the seller one, the buyer one was, if I can locate an off-market deal that's priced right for you, would you want to know about that? Was that pretty much the gist of it, Brittany?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in today's market, what are a lot of investors looking for? Off-market deals. So remember, just because something is off-market doesn't mean you don't get paid. It just means it's not on the MLS. In fact, Dwayne just had one that closed. That was Linda Vista, I think. That was not on the MLS, was it?
No, sold it before I had to put it on MLS.
Okay. That's even better.
To one of my investors.
Yeah. Right. And Dwayne's getting the full commission on that. So remember, off market just means it's not being marketed publicly. It doesn't mean it's not for sale and you don't earn a commission. And by the way, if you approach any investor with that statement, with that question, if I can find you an off-market deal that's priced right, would you want to know about it? Do you think any investor on the planet would ever say no to that?
No.
Probably not. So
Hey,
then you can use
Gary,
really flow. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Gary, so that's kind of one of the things that I use is I'll find an off-market deal, or I'll even find another agent's off-market deal or something that's even on the MLS, and I just go through my Rolodex and call them.
Yeah.
Because I sent that one out to 8 and 1 bid.
Wow. Thanks, Dwayne. So you see how easy that was for Dwayne? Dwayne's a veteran. I've known him for years, and he's got a lot of other real life experience too outside of real estate. But nobody comes into this business firing on all cylinders. I mean, well, very rarely do they. Brittany, actually, you're one of them. You came in, you're blazing guns, and it's paying off for you. But for the most part, people don't have that confidence yet, and it's just all psychological. Is all it is. Now, the next one was for the seller. If I can find it. So, Brittany, repeat the seller one again, if you don't mind, please. Did you know that you can participate in class every Monday? We call it Monday Night Live, 7 p.m. Eastern, with me and dozens of other investor agents from around the country, in fact, the world. Every Monday, totally free. No selling, no recruiting, just straight up education on anything and everything in real estate. And we have a lot of good guests coming on once or twice a month, bringing in expertise on subjects like how to buy a house with crypto. Okay. How about them apples? What about AI? How's AI affecting our business? How about the metaverse, blockchain processing? We're already using it in title work. So come on to Monday Night Live. Be ready to take notes and ask questions because it's live and engaging, and you get to participate by asking questions and meeting others. So we'll see you there. Go to realestateWithGaryWilson.com. Click on the resource tab, drop down, and you'll see Monday Night Live. And in there, you can see one of the most recent classes. But more importantly, you can register for class as many as you want going up to like the end of the year, I believe. So in any case, do that. We'll see you on Monday Night Live. Look forward to meeting you in person. Take care. Hey, Brittany, if we're muted, or you're muted, sorry.
Sorry.
Just
Let me get back to it really quick. It
Okay.
says if I can find oh, come on. There you are. If I knew of a buyer willing to pay top dollar for your home, would you want to know about it?
Yep. And if it's not happening a lot right now, it will be happening more and more as time goes on. Guys, I'm just, and Brittany, keep those up so we can refer to them. I want to go over the other ones too. But I want to run something by you guys. Some of you know I've been looking to move back to Virginia Beach at least part-time, get a place there of my own. And just for fun, I started looking there today, and I'm looking at about a year out. Originally I was looking for this year, but life's plans have changed. So I'm looking at next year, perhaps. There were 2 properties out there that I looked at last year that did not sell. One of them has dropped down from 500,000 to 425, and the other one dropped from 500 down to 440. Okay. So, and these are nice ocean, these are waterfront condos on the bay. It's called North Shore on the bay, right at the mouth of the Atlantic Ocean in Chesapeake Bay. 2 years ago, they'd have been gone in seconds. Now, not so much. Prices have gone up, rates went up, and now it knocked a lot of people out of the market. So, in any case, do you think those people might be interested in this last thing that Brittany just said? Which if I can find, a buyer's willing to pay full price, would you be interested? Well, heck yeah. So I want you guys to write these down. They'll be in the recording. You can get them again in the recording tomorrow. And actually, Brittany, if you know what, if you could share those on our GIA Team workplace page, those 2 slides, that would be awesome. And that way everybody have access to them.
Yep, I can do that.
Yeah. Now the next one, there was 2 more. One of them was talked about serving the community and helping the community and having goals. Or maybe I'm commingling the last 2. But there was another screen, I think, had 2 other scripts on there.
Yeah, so it says, I have big goals to help XYZ families. And when we do, we will do XYZ in the community. So this is the power of isolating one introduction per person will change your business forever. And there's 4 bullet points underneath of it.
Okay. Now that was pretty unique. That's one I've never used before. Has anybody used something like that before? We're really making a promise. You're making a commitment that as the community helps you, you're going to help the community, you know? So has anybody seen that before or used that before? So Karen to Liz and Andre, have you used
Yeah,
it
you
before,
can.
Andre?
Yeah, we used to say that we would donate, you know, a certain amount of money to one of the not-for-profits that we knew about, or we could offer or give them a certain amount of donation for, you know, a not-for-profit that they love. So it was always about giving back to the community and doing things for the schools or the teachers, you know, whatever is the group that you're kind of going after.
Yep. Okay.
I've had
You know, it's
clients do this
interesting.
really well as grassroots movements as well. So if you're in a particular community, because then you can reach out to those community leaders and say, I'm trying to help 10 families in this community. Can you help me help them? And we're going to be looking at donating back to the community when we make that goal. It's been very effective because it really separates you out from those who are just trying to pull money out of the community to those who are actually building it up.
Yep. Yeah. You know, what's interesting too, is you're telling people you've got goals related to this, and that there's the word goals. It's like it just grabs people's attention. It's almost like a pattern interrupt, you know? So because how many agents you think are telling their prospects, hey, I've got a goal of serving 10 people right now. And that I don't think most agents would ever do that. But by the way, I do want to share something with you. I remember actually did have something I did years ago that was the same genre. And it was called the Great American Real Estate Rebate. And we created a website. You can probably still find it out there. There's even a Facebook page. And what we did was we would contribute 10% of our commission income to like the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the local nurses association, I think it's the Fraternal Brotherhood of Police Officers, firemen, anybody that was a public servant, or the scouting organizations. We would give 10% of our commission to those organizations. And here's the oddity in all this. What organization called me up and sent me a threatening letter? Take a wild guess. It's the Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts?
Oh yeah. They said, you can't do this. And I said, well, I don't understand what I'm a scoutmaster. My son's an Eagle Scout. And I know scouting could use a few extra bucks. And that's why we're doing it. It's total voluntary. Nobody's twisting anybody's arms. They said, yeah, but you're using imagery from our library of photos that you don't have permission to use. And you also used our name and you don't have permission to use our name. And I said, why, please forgive me. I didn't know that there was a requirement. What do I have to go through? What's the process to do that? And they said, well, there is none. You're not going to qualify. So we had to shut that one down. Actually, what we did is we changed all the images for the Boy Scouts to remove all scouting images, and it removed the phrase Boy Scouts from everything too. And of course, it wasn't as effective, And the Boy Scouts then merged with the Girl Scouts, and you guys probably know that story. But in any case, kind of comical there. But any case, when you do stuff like that, I don't know if Liz, you can explain the psychology behind it, but it's like it connects with people at a deeper level. Like they become tied to your goals. I don't know how to describe it. Is there terminology for that to help us understand that? I mean, I've seen it, but I just don't know how to
It
explain
actually
it.
ties to the law of reciprocity because
Okay.
if you haven't read Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion,
Oh yeah.
highly, highly recommend that. That's the marketer's Bible. And it's a very fast read. Robert Cialdini, Influence, the
Yep.
Psychology of Persuasion. When the Hare Krishnas offer you that flower and the way they push it out to you and you're obligated to take it back, there's a lot of psychology in that. And so when you're giving back to the community, that invites the community to give back to you as well. And I think as Catherine said, she goes to the food bank very consistently as well. And so it doesn't hurt to publicize that a little bit, not in a, I'm doing all this for the community sort of way, but hey, I give back to local food pantry and I'm looking at giving back more. Can you help me with that goal? And it really activates that. And also it's no longer us and them at that point. It's us and us, because we're a community, we're building this community together instead of I'm the real estate person coming in from the outside and doing these deals. I'm in Austin, Texas, as a matter of fact. So you can imagine how it is here with our real estate. And we're always like those Californians coming in and raising our prices. Fortunately, the bubble burst before they tanked our economy, but it's just because the economies are so different. I mean, you can get a good house here for 300,000, 400, 500,000. To them, that's pocket change. So, but having them come from the outside into our community felt very invasive. Whereas if they're in partnership with us and like, hey, we're giving 10% back to the food bank, that makes all the difference in the world for us to feel like now we're in partnership together.
Yeah, I like it. Thanks, Liz. Thanks, Andre, too. Okay, by the way, there's one section in that book I like where he talks about the Cub Scout selling candy bars. And he's like, how can you turn that down? I mean, everybody likes a candy bar, number one. The kid's sitting there and handing it to you with that cap on and a big smile on his face with rosy cheeks, and and it's just $1, right? So it's an automatic game winner, So yeah. Okay. Hey, Brittany, what was there? There was one more section. Oh, Karen, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, going back to one of the first ones that Brittany talked about initially, I mean, something I know that I've been using lately with investors is letting them know that, hey, now this is, to look at maybe listings, right? Is to let them know that I work with a large group of investors that are still willing to pay top dollar for the properties, and, especially for good, solid properties. And that said, have they considered selling? And a lot of them, I mean, first of all, well, you got to get a hold of them first, but, most of the time an investor is going to say everything is for sale at the right price. Right. Yep. So, and even if they say, I don't want an agent, or I don't want this, or I don't want that, sometimes you can at least get your foot in the door, for that off market opportunity, or, can I come take a look at it, or, something. And, today I talked with somebody who gave me that line that, that actually you had a great comeback for once. And, he basically said, I've been dealing with the same agent for 30 years. I don't need an agent, And I said, listen, you know what? I'm not trying to replace your agent, but it's okay to have another horse in the race. And I just absolutely loved that response,
Yeah.
So, and the guy, started out that way, and then he wouldn't stop talking to me for 45 minutes. So, and I just said, okay, but, obviously you're not. And then he told me all about his property, and, friend of his who had like 30 properties, and, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, point being is sometimes you just don't know who you're going to engage and whether or not they're even interested, but, you never know unless you try.
Yeah. Well, I want to remind everybody of something. There was a class we had, not this past May, I think it was the May before. It might have even been May of 2021. Who remembers one of my old agents, Christine Hyatt, coming on with one of her clients, Benny Ulio? And Benny owned several restaurants, but he's a big investor too. Anybody remember that? I had him on class. It was easily two plus years ago. Well, the thing that I remember the most is when she started off with him, he wouldn't work with her. She never gave up. She kept calling him, talking to him, showing him properties. Same thing. He'd say, well, I've already got somebody I'm working with. Finally, she said, just give me a chance. Let me show you what I can do, because you're saying no and you don't know what you're saying no to, and she didn't say, hey, Gary Wilson taught me. She just said, I'm trained to work with investors, right? By the way, that guy ended up coaching him 2 years in a row after that, by the way. So kind of an interesting twist on things, but he gave her a chance. Now
Yep.
she's done easily millions of dollars in transactions with him. And
Well, he
he's,
did ask me to send my contact information to him, so you never know, right?
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep. So any case, okay, any more questions, guys? We've got one more chunk of from the screenshot to go through from Brittany's screenshots. One more piece. Everybody okay so far? Okay. Hey, Brittany, what was the last part of that then? I think there was one more part.
But there's actually 3 more. So it says, in order to achieve that goal and do XYZ in the community, we're looking to work by referral with more amazing people like you. Could you commit to introducing me to one person in the next year who might need to buy or sell?
Okay. So there you're actually buttering that person's bread, right? You know, you're basically complimenting them. But at the same time, the ask isn't a very big ask, is it? You're just asking for one referral. Okay. What's interesting about that is, you know, when you get one and you serve them, do you think it's more, you're more likely to get more or less likely to get more? If you get one and serve them well, what do you think? Absolutely. Yep.
More.
Yep. People, will, you know, and I've had that happen with investors. I hardly ever get referrals from owner occupants. I hate to say it, but I'd get an occasional one here and there. But with the investors, the ones that gave me referrals often gave me they didn't all give me referrals, but the ones that did, multiple referrals. Even today, years later, I haven't been in production for years. I still get phone calls from people. In any case, pretty interesting how that works. Any comments on that one? Let's take a poll here. So far, of the ones you heard, do you like this last one best, or do you like some of the other ones that we've already talked about better? Just you can unmute yourself or put in the chat box, either one, you know.
Yeah, I like the one with the goal statement, because it feels like they, especially when I'm talking with my friends, they feel more invested or involved in my progress.
Yep. And goals is a positive word. I mean, it just, when I hear goals, I think it's success. And what do people want? They want success. People want to, people who are successful want to work with other successful people. You know, when you say, I've got goals, here's my goals, I'm like, let's get going. I mean, think about us on the team here. You know, every year we go through the entire exercise, vision, goals, action plans, which is coming up in a few months, by the way. So get ready for that. But your goals become my goals. That's just how it works. And thankfully it's automatic. It's, you know, human nature to want to be that way. Well, I guess for most people anyway. So when you do this in your community, you're tapping into something that's sort of primal. It's like an instinctual thing, you know? So, let's see, this is Kathy. I'm more comfortable with asking for the referral and with asking, oops, the chat just went away. Hang on one second. Asking for the referral and asking for help with goals. Aha, okay. So let's do this. If you're more comfortable asking for referrals, type in referral into the chat box. Okay. And if you're more comfortable leading with the goals script, type in goals. And then if you're more comfortable leading with, you know, well, that's really tied to the goals, but, you know,
How about if you have a poll?
What's that?
Can you create a poll?
I'm
Gary,
not sure how to do that. Yeah.
I think it really depends on the person that you're speaking with. I think it depends how comfortable you are with that person, how close they are to you. I mean, for me, a goal would be more of a private thing. And I don't talk about my private life with people who aren't close to me. So, so my goal would be something that, I would discuss with somebody closer to me.
Okay.
I wouldn't discuss anything private with somebody that I didn't know. Now, on the other hand, with, I wouldn't, so it just depends how you put it, how you place that out there, or how private you're making it. So I guess to me, it just depends, how you're stating it and how you're putting it out there. And if you're saying, hey, my personal goal is to have, X number of this or this to happen, that may be one thing, but I think it depends how personal that goal is really being stated. That's just my own.
Well, I appreciate that, because the reality is, it takes two for this to work. You and the
Yeah.
consumer.
And I mean, social media has destroyed, most people's lives. So, I mean, I don't even use it except for business ever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so anyway, it's just my take on things. So,
Yeah.
Karen, I appreciate that comment too. And I know when I'm thinking about my personal goals, I keep them pretty close to my chest as well.
Right.
And yet with the idea of having a goal of how many people that you're going to help and the energy around
that's different. Right.
And then the idea of giving back to the community, that kind of goal, I think easily easy goal.
The more people, the better. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And because we're not trying to take or grab or anything like that. It's a different energy when you're like giving and helping.
Right. But it's all in how it's presented.
Yeah.
And Gary, that brings it back full circle for me to what you were talking about at the beginning. That how do you talk to people when you're nervous about talking to them, especially when you're making an ask? And I get this all the time with my personal development clients, because of course that's what they do, is help people. And yet it's so hard for them to ask for a sale. And when you point out to them, if you don't ask for that sale, you can't actually help them. It makes all the difference. So there's people out there who need their houses sold, who have sharks circling around them, and you're here and you can help them. But if you don't let people know that you have that service out there, they're not going to be able to tell their friend who's about to make a big mistake, hey, why don't you go work with Melanie? Because she's a really nice person. She's going to steer you the right way. She really cares about people. So that really helps me too, because cold calling is never my favorite either. We met at a conference, and that's how I like to meet a lot of my clients. I like to meet and get to know you, but sometimes we do have to pick up that phone. So every time I pick it up, I remind myself, I don't know who I'm going to help in this conversation. And it may not even be the person I'm talking to. It might be their cousin or their friend or their neighbor. But if I don't pick up that phone, I'm not going to help anybody.
That's right.
Exactly. We know what's really cool here about this dialogue is Melanie is a really nice person. and you two are neighbors. You guys should definitely connect. You're both in the same town.
That's right. Yeah, you said you're in Austin.
I am in Austin.
That's funny.
I know you, and the funny is, I know you both. I mean, I'm telling you, that's awesome. And I'm not, and Liz, I'm not saying you need to have your hair done. Your hair looks great, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's my COVID hair. It's had time to grow.
Yeah, go visit Melanie's husband. He's a rock star.
Oh, seriously? Because I'm looking for a new person. So see, you never know who you're going to help.
That's awesome.
I think there's another business in my future.
That's right.
So, any case, all right, so back to this. Yeah. So back to this. Karen had a really good point, is a lot of it has to do with who you're speaking with. So remember the DISC profile, DISC. It's a very simple process to learn and execute. It does take time to get comfortable with it, but when you learn to recognize other people's profiles, you might then know more instinctively, hey, I should be asking for a referral from this one, or I should be telling them my goals. That would help you. And the only way to know that is to listen to them. Listen to them, and they'll tell you based on how they're speaking, what words they're using. Are they using words like, well, I feel this, or I feel that, or that sounds great, or that really looks amazing. Looking, feeling, sounding, all those are keywords to what their communication styles are and what their preferences are. And I'll be the first to admit, first time I heard DISC, it was explained to me, didn't use it, blew it off, forgot what it meant, I had to learn it like 3 times, where I finally took it seriously, and it changed everything. It is absolutely necessary for you to understand this profile, not just to understand yourself, so you can understand other people, right? And when you make that shift and your focus is on the other person, it'll be a lot more successful. And it will help you become more comfortable asking for the business. At the end of the day, you've got to actually ask, you know, hey, if would you be interested in selling if the price was right? You know, would you be interested in buying if the price was right? And if their answer to that is yes, you've got a deal. It's just a matter of time and money, you know? So any case, some good comments. Let me go back. Let's see. Still feels like cold calling.
It's the same thing too with the word goals, because some people could care less what your goals are.
Yeah.
I mean, depending, if you have a hard D, and they're just, moving along. And I'm a lot of D, but I mean, there are, other people are, you're a combination of different things, but it depends how much of those things you are, right? So it all depends on what qualities, how much of what you have. So you're right. I do think it depends. Like, that's why I said it depends who you're talking to.
Yep. Let's see, Liz, this is early on, Liz. Also, you don't know who you can help, and they will know that you are out there to help them if you don't let them know there. That's exactly what Liz was just talking about. Yep. Let's see, Kathy, sometimes you'll find folks who don't have available funds, but it's good enough. They will often find the funds. Yep. Money follows management, let's see, I gave back to our local food pantry. Oh, hey, Kathy, if you don't mind, if you have any type of receipt for that, I'd like to enter it into the log for us helping the food banks. We've had a big push. Actually, tomorrow is the final day. So I think Tom Zakalar sent me a receipt, and there's a big event tomorrow in Virginia Beach to wrap up the whole event.
I also deliver food for the food bank every 2 weeks, but I don't ever get a receipt for it. It's donated time.
Yeah. Okay. I tell you what, let's if we can touch base tomorrow sometime, just a quick ad hoc phone call or something like that, a text. I mean, I'll run it by you, because you might want to just keep it to yourself what you're doing. It's a push through EXP, iHeart EXP, right? And Extend a Hand, which is the philanthropic division. So it's growing, and they want to recognize people who are contributing. So okay, let's see. Gary, you have an amazing memory. Thanks, Lisa.
Gary, I
get
have a
that a
quick
lot.
comment about those first 2 ones that Brittany shared with the buyer and the seller. What I really liked that, because I also do text marketing, what I really liked about that is it was short and to the point, which really calls out to your A buyers, and it was all about them. It was all about, I've got money for you. Either way, I've got money for you. And are you interested? So funnel people, I'm a funnel specialist, funnel people in as well as out. You didn't take up any of their time for them to give you a quick yes, no, are they in or out? This calls out to your top level buyer. So I really, really liked that text. And I hope that you get it up there, because I was taking notes on that one in particular, because I thought that was very key, and I can use it in some of my other industries.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll remind me, Liz, if you don't get it from me tomorrow, I'll send it. I have it on my phone. I'll send it to you.
Cool. I love that.
Well, you know what else too? Brittany, if you could email those to Beverly, she'll put them in the email tomorrow with the recording. So Liz, you'll get the recording because you were in class automatically, and you'll get those pictures. You can use them. Yeah. There you go. So Brittany, you're definitely earning your stripes tonight. You get the gold star. So yeah. Let's see. Kathy's more comfortable asking for referral than in asking for help with goals. Okay. Melanie, your exercises for goals. Oh, thank you. So here's a good plug for Melanie, who's I consider a leader in the industry, saying that the exercises for goal setting are awesome. So when it comes to December, guys, be ready to hit the ground running. It's something I take very seriously. Been doing it for well over 20 years. And it's an integral part of what I've been able to achieve. And I hope you will do the same. So I'm going to help you do that. So back to the question was goals versus leading with goals versus leading with requests or referrals. 1, 2 on the goals, referral, 1 on referrals, 2 on referrals, 3 on goals. So it's almost a tie. How about that? That's interesting. Yeah, every situation is different. Amanda, I'm still showing you, but I make a joke that asking for a sale and making a sales pitch, people find it funny. Hey, well, man, I love your attitude. I would say if you're doing that and you have that type of attitude, keep doing it. People will fall in love with you. I mean, in terms of business,
I'll
people will do
definitely
business with-
upgrade. I'll definitely
What's that?
upgrade from what I've learned from here with the marketing and sales marketing and everything. But I'm still, I
Yep.
don't have my realtor's license yet. But when I talk to people, I always ask them, they say, oh, we're moving or whatever. And I'll go, oh, well, nudge, nudge, I'm becoming a realtor soon. So if you want somebody that I'm right here. I live down the street. I know the house in the neighborhood. Nudge, nudge, not to put a sales pitch in. And
Yep.
most people I talk to are over 60 or over 70, and they find that really cute and endearing. I'm sure it doesn't work for everybody, but so far it's worked.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely works. People remember these 3 things. People want to feel like they know you, like you, and trust you. It all starts with knowing. And the way they feel like they know you is you being authentic and genuine like that, right? And you can say it's being cute, and it probably is, but the fact is it's like you're so new, right? And you're not coming across as polished and scripted and just following a pattern. It's raw and it's authentic, and people like that. So they like you. So now they know you, now they like you. And trust is it's the short jump from the first 2. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't ever lose that freshness. A lot of veterans here. I mean, you've got Melanie here, Lisa Sears, Karen Green, Andre, lots of veterans on. Liz is not directly in the real estate industry, but she's close enough to it. She knows how it works. She knows her business. Anna Galumian, lots of veterans here will tell you a lot of veterans ultimately come back to the beginning where they just are themselves. They've learned what they can learn. They realize at the end of the day, the best thing you can do for yourself is to be yourself, be authentic, be genuine, always coming from a place of contribution. Look to serve first, right? People want to be served, not sold. And the best way to endear yourself to people is listen to them, let them talk and listen to them, ask them open-ended questions: who, what, where, when, how, why, right? Well, there's not a yes or no answer. Let them talk. And it's just odd, but people, the more they talk, the more they'll like you, probably because you listen to them. Any case, let's see. I think Brittany, have we hit all those, or is there more?
That's about the gist of them.
Okay. All right, guys. I know we're getting close on time here, and we normally try to wrap up in an hour, but I always stay on the extra half hour just in case. There is one more thing I want to remind you of. Remember, we have what's called Funnel Fridays. It's on Facebook. It's Braden Kinder who puts it on. Andre, do you have the link for that you can put in the chat box for everybody?
Oh yeah, I can grab it.
Okay, guys, I'm telling you, the best of the best in our organization are on this every single Friday. Their downline is on this call. Their children are on this call. In fact, one of the children actually runs the call. Braden Kinder is Jay Kinder's son. Have you ever heard of them, Liz? Braden Kinder and Jay Kinder, and they're Texans. Well, they were from Oklahoma and moved to Texas.
It rings a bell, but talk about being yourself. I'm one of those hermit gurus. So I'm not a guru.
Yeah.
Okay, other people call you that, but no, I'm one of those that tries to stay not at too many conferences, especially since my daughter's been at risk of COVID. So I haven't been out too much. So I don't think I've heard them. I can't wait to hear what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, their marketing campaigns on Facebook have really worked a lot. In fact, I'll just tell you, Jay Kinder, Albie Stasic, those guys, when they need more production out of their front line, that's where they go. they go to Braden Kinder and that Friday funnels, and it works. He helps you build funnels, guys. So remember, this business is two main parts: attract people to add people to your database, number one, and number two is serve your database. And the only way to serve them is to pick up the phone and call them. So I want to kind of come back full circle here. So guys, Andre just put that in the chat box, 11 a.m. Central Time, honeybadgerleadgen.com, honeybadgerleadgen.com. In fact, I may join you one of these Fridays. On this Friday, I've got to take my mom to the doctor. In fact, I got to take her to the doctor Friday and Monday. So, but in any case, I'd like to join you on one of those sometimes. I highly recommend you be there. And that's me being mild about it. And I would tell you, if we were having a one-on-one, I'd probably shake you and tell you need to be on that call. And I would go on there as often as you can, because it's one of the best things that has worked for the most people as far as building funnels and getting those leads through, you know.
Gary, they have
Hey, guys.
a Thursday production call. It's all about production every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern as well. This week, Wally, the coach from NAEA, is coaching on time management, I believe. You want me to post that in there as well?
Yeah, if you don't mind, Andre, that'd be great. So that's slightly different. The intent for Fridays is strictly funnel building, probably primarily with Facebook. The intent on Thursday is more general in nature, just production in general.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So that's honeybadgersuccess.com, honeybadgerleadgen.com. Because I don't want to introduce anything new tonight. Wednesday night, if you're on the team, make sure you're there Wednesday night, 7 p.m. The post with the link is in the workplace page, but it goes out every the second Wednesday of every month. That following Thursday, Beverly sends the email. It'll subject line will say last night's webinar, monthly GIA Team Mastermind. I think that's what it says. In there, it has a registration link that allow you to register for all the upcoming team meetings. Monday Night Live, that email goes out on Tuesdays, of course, and that has the links in there for Monday Night Live. But when you register, you automatically get the recording. But you want to be on these live as much as possible. Like tonight was very engaging. You guys are, thank you for being here and being present and engaging so much. I mean, what's funny is, Liz and I go back a long ways, and I can't tell you how proud I am and happy I am that you guys were so engaged tonight. And it wasn't a planned thing. It's just, you guys really stepped up. And so I'm sure she's pretty excited about teaching you guys in a couple of weeks.
Oh, I am. It's a great group. And the things I'm going to show you about email are going to work perfect with whatever he's showing you with Honey Badger, because I just had to look at his website, because what I do works with everybody. So you're just, it makes your life easier. I like it. Keep it super simple. So we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. Hey guys, any questions before we take off for the night here? Anything you wanted to bring up you need help on? Clients, transactions? Who needs
How's your calendar
transaction
looking
like
these days?
I'm sorry, what's that, PF?
How's your calendar looking these days?
You have to schedule 2 days in advance. It's just the way it's set up. So we're now, there's no way to schedule anything for Wednesday now. Although I will tell you, I've done this before, I'm looking now. Wednesday at 3:30 Eastern and 4 p.m. Eastern are open. So if anybody wants that, first come, first serve. You have to email me or text me, because you won't be able to.
Now, Gary, I signed up for Friday because that was the soonest I could get in, and that was a couple hours ago.
Well, I got another little secret for you. At 10 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday, those are open too. I think what it was is today was a holiday. I think a lot of people took off today, because normally I normally have time available on Thursdays and Fridays, but not Wednesdays. So if anybody wants Wednesday 10 or 10:30 Eastern, or Wednesday 3:30 or 4 Eastern, I just do first come, first serve. Those are open.
I can do 3:30 to 4:30.
Okay.
Which would be 12:30 to 1:30 for me.
Yep. Yep.
Well, then I'll cancel Friday.
And send a text too, so I can, I'll schedule I'll do the scheduling for you guys. Okay, anybody that wants those spots, I'll set up the Zooms for you.
Thank you.
Oops, I put that on the wrong date. That's no, that's the right date, Lisa. Okay.
That's this
So
Wednesday, right?
Yep. So
Okay,
send
thank you.
text, guys. Yep. And then Thursday, this is crazy. I got 3:30 and 4 Eastern available also on Thursday. I hope that's not a podcast, but just consider those open. And I think that 10:30 Eastern is also open on Thursday, and then that's it for Thursday. Friday, looks like Friday morning's open, 10 to noon. Well, you guys, yeah, schedule, guys. I mean, seriously, get a half hour. Let's strategize. There's things we got to cover, production and attraction both. We are absolutely on a roll. I mean, this was the craziest thing, but Tuesday night, the Honey Badger Leadership Group had an event that they put on for all of us at the House of Blues, and they're flashing up the top people, and my name came up, number 13 or number 14 in a group of like 14,000. And I mean, it was weird because people kept coming up to me. Some of them I knew, some I didn't know. And this couple I sat with at the end, I was sitting at the table in front of the screen too, which is crazy. So people coming, and then like the two people there who I just met, they said, we didn't realize that we were sitting with somebody famous, and I never thought of that before. I said, I'm really not famous. I said, some of the people that came by are famous, like Phil Stringer, he's definitely famous, but I'm not all over the internet. But you know what's crazy? All that stuff we've been doing, guys, all the postings, promoting your listings, celebrating when you have a sale, celebrating when you attract somebody, birthdays, all those things we celebrate have been getting a lot of attention. And I have more people come up to me at that conference on a daily basis than ever before. I'd meet you meet people, shake hands, and they say, "Oh, I know who you are." And I said, "Really, have I taught you before?" He said, "No, I just see you online." And Instagram apparently is taken off. They're seeing us online. So some of you have gotten leads because they come in from that stuff, and we funnel them right to you. Okay. So that's how that works. So keep that in mind, and you can tag team off of that by sharing what we're posting, because the way the algorithms work, if you share something that's getting a lot of response, a lot of SEO, you're going to get more SEO. Does that make sense, guys? So bear in mind, you've got to share. When you see the stuff we're posting, I don't, if it's somebody's listing or something, share it. I promise you, it's going to boost your ratings. That's why we're doing it. I'm not in production. I don't need to do these things for me. I need to do them for you. And it's a two-way, it's a handshaking deal. When you see those things pop up in your news feed, right? Share them, like them and share them. It'll boost your results too, So, okay. Any final thoughts, words of wisdom, questions?
Gary, excuse me, you said in the news feed,
Yeah.
you're talking about Facebook news feed? What news feed are you talking
Yeah,
about?
on when Ryan and Sugar are posting on my Facebook business page, right? Real Estate with Gary Wilson, and then my personal page, and also on Instagram. They're doing it on LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. Those are the postings that if you're connected with me, you're friends, right? And we're contacts on Instagram and Facebook and what have you. You should be seeing them pop up in your news feeds. I think, isn't that how it works, Liz? They show up in their news feeds. Is that right?
Yep. And you get a lot of synergy cross pollination, as we call it. So if someone like Gary, who has a lot of traction, you're posting his, it will bring some of his people over to you as well, and vice versa.
Yep.
So you really create a great community together, and you'll start seeing each other more and more, and your leads, the people in your community, will start seeing each other more and more. So it really helps, especially in real estate, when there's so many people out there doing fear mongering about it, and you're so positive about it. You really want to elevate that. You can tell them I love that in the world. So you're really elevating that in the world, but you're also elevating that on Facebook, and that tends to push out those negative people, not on purpose, but because they don't want to be around all that positivity. So you actually bring in a bigger, healthier community over time when you share like that.
Yeah. You know the saying, guys, a rising tide lifts all ships. So you definitely can do your part. Grab an oar, and it takes how long to do a share? You just hit a button, and that's it. It can't get any easier. That's like not even a whole second. Do that a couple times a day, and you'll notice your results starting to pick up. So, but what a fulfilling week to get that kind of feedback throughout the week, guys. And I did run into people I've taught in the past. I can't remember them all, but they remember me, and when they would tell me where they were from, then Lisa, my memory would start to kick in. Oh, by the way, Lisa, ran into a couple from Eugene, and I asked them if they knew you. I wish I remember their name because I told them you were down at Grants Pass area, in Medford, and they said they know your name. They were former, they were used to be at KW, and I taught at that market center. It was a couple. Oh, gone it. I should have got their contact information. But it's kind of neat when that stuff happens, guys. I hope that you all can join us at the conferences sometime because it is a lot of fun networking, learning. All the stuff I'm bringing back is because I was there, and I'm a avid learner. I'll never stop learning. So, okay, I'm starting to ramble, and I don't want to do that. I want to respect your time. Thank you all for participating and being so engaged tonight. Thank you, Liz, for joining us. That was a nice surprise. With all the guests, thank you for the guests and the new agents, and I always got to thank you, Melanie, because you're definitely a source of light, for a lot of people.
Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, I think I saw your better half earlier. Was that your husband coming in to take away your plate? Oh, that's awesome. So talk about teamwork. That's pretty good. So, okay. Well, listen, guys, I'll see you Wednesday night. Make sure you're there. Spread the word. We got a lot to go over that night. I'll hopefully get it all done, but it's going to be some good stuff you can actually use. Okay. And I'll see you in the one-on-ones. Sound good?
Thanks, Gary. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
One more assignment.
Gary,
What are you going to do with the two circles, the sphere circle and the marketing circle? First thing tomorrow. What are you going to do?
atmosphere, call them and talk to them.
Pick up the phone and dial, baby. I'm telling you, that's where we are in this marketplace. You can ask Melanie, ask anybody that knows this business. They will tell you this is where we are, and that's what it takes. So, okay, Benetta, do you have a question?
Yeah, is Wednesday night going to be taped? Because I won't be there. I have to go out of town.
Yeah, make sure you register because it will be recorded, and that way you can get the recording. We got a lot of content from the conference. Yep. So, okay, Henry, you feel like you're in the right place, man?
Absolutely. I'm super excited and definitely looking forward to this. I've been soaking everything in, and it's just been amazing. So I feel really good about this.
How did the expo go Saturday?
It went really well. I actually have one individual. I invited him, Joshua. He should be on here as well. So it went well. It was Flood Watch in New York City, but there was still a good attendees, and it was really. I was actually ended up being on the panel, so
nice.
Yeah. So it was like someone, God works the way He works, but I actually sat down on the panel, met a lot of lenders, a lot of individuals. So, and I got me actually about three solid leads from there. So it went pretty well.
Good. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all your support.
Yeah, I'm glad to do it. That's why I'm here.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, have a good night. Enjoy yourselves and your families. Take care and God bless. And I'll see you on the one-on-ones, and I'll see you next Monday.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this episode of Monday Night Live. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and go to realestatewithgarywilson.com to join our community and start building wealth today.